Is it possible you could be positive for marijuana?
Positive, yes.
Is it possible you could be positive for alcohol?
No.
When's the last time you had alcohol?
Ooh, I haven't had none in a long time, ma'am.
Okay. So could you be positive for anything other than marijuana? And I need you to tell me the truth because I'm trying to figure out how to help you. So
No, ma'am.
All right. So then here's my question for you.
Yes,
Why won't you stop using marijuana? All right, Mr. Moore, how are you doing?
Right there.
all right, how you doing, young lady?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for calling me a young lady. I appreciate that.
A little bit back, sir. A little bit back so you can see it like there. No, no, no. Right here.
Oh.
Like right there.
Uh-huh.
You see yourself?
All right,
There you go.
Mr. Moore, we're having a slight problem with you. Do you know what that problem is?
I'm trying to get about the program, about the ITP program.
Well, no,
And,
the problem is you keep using.
But I was supposed to be trying to get me into this program, but
Okay, you need to step back.
Just turn right here. You
Okay.
be like you will.
and they try to get me in this program, but I go over there. They say I need some kind of paperwork.
No, this is what the problem is. The program they want you to go into is an inpatient program.
Yeah, but I went over there. They tell me that.
No,
Supposed-
listen to me. I want you to take a deep breath
Okay.
because I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to help you.
Okay. I'm listening.
So what they're telling me is they want to extend your probation
Uh-huh.
and they want you to go into inpatient treatment because you have a drug issue. So what drugs have you been using?
What drug I use? I use marijuana. I use it, but I haven't been using it recently. And I'm trying to get into the program, and I went over there yesterday. They say the lady supposed to send some kind of paperwork. I haven't had no paperwork to get into the ITP.
Okay, here's my question for you. If you're tested today, what are you going to test positive for?
Yeah, and I don't think I'm a test. I take a test if you want me to. I have no problem.
No, nobody has a problem taking a test until they take it. So here's my question for you. What are you going to be positive for today? Is it possible you could be positive for marijuana?
Positive, yes.
Is it possible you could be positive for alcohol?
No.
When's the last time you had alcohol?
Ooh, I haven't had none in a long time, ma'am.
So could you be positive for anything other than marijuana? And I need you to tell me the truth because I'm trying to figure out how to help you. So
No, ma'am.
all right. So then here's my question for you.
Yes,
Why won't you stop using marijuana?
I don't know. It's a habit, I guess. Bad
Well,
habit.
but here's the thing. I understand, like in some places, they allow people to use marijuana. It's no problem. But here in Texas, you're not allowed to use marijuana. So
Uh-huh.
the question becomes to you, whether or not your marijuana use is such that you're so caught up in it that you would take a chance on going to prison for life.
No, here, excuse me, no, man. I want to put up prison for life. I want to get into a treatment program, and I'm trying to get into it, and I'm having a problem getting into the treatment program because I have no paperwork.
Now, here's the thing. We're going to get you into a treatment program, but I'm just trying to figure out where you're coming from. And you say you don't want to go to prison for life, but you're acting as though you want to be sent to prison for marijuana use because you won't stop. And then what I'm being told, you were turned away because you showed up with marijuana. Like, who goes to a report with marijuana on them? Like, who does that?
So nobody does that, young lady.
I mean, yes, somebody does do that. And you know the person who does that? Someone who's on deferred, who could be going to prison for life, Gregory Leonard Moore. Do you know that person? Because
Yeah.
that's the person who could be going to prison for life, who actually shows up to report with marijuana. Like, who would do that
No one.
except for Gregory Leonard Moore?
Except Rick Leonard Moore. And when I was saying I threw it away, and I was throwing it away, and then she told me not to.
So what have you been, well, see, I don't even understand why you would show up with it. So my question is, what have you been doing with your life? Like, do you have a place to stay? Are you employed? What's going on in your life? Other
I'm
than
employed. I'm employed. I'm employed.
where are you working?
I work for Livestock Show and Rodeo.
And where are you living?
Ma'am,
Where are you living?
well, I was staying in the room, and right now I got into it, got the room, so I just rented a place down the street. I just rented a room down the street off of Martin Zatamore.
Okay. This is what I'm going to do. And Ms. Reyes, this is what I want done with Mr. Moore.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Moore, I'm going to give you a chance. And here's your chance. And whether or not you accept it or not, whether you're open to receiving it, that's completely on you.
Okay, I'm listening.
You're going to be tested.
Yes, ma'am.
Your marijuana levels need to start going down.
Yes, ma'am.
If your marijuana levels go up because you're smoking marijuana, which they'll be able to tell me, we're going to have issues. From here on out, everything that you do while you are under this court supervision,
Yes, ma'am.
you need to ask yourself, is this something that can result in me going to prison for life?
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't think anybody wants to go to the prison and somebody says, oh, you're in here? What are you in here for? Oh, I wouldn't stop using marijuana. Do you understand? What you're on deferred adjudication for, the range of punishment is 5 to 99 years or life. So the minimum sentence that you can receive is 5 years. Not saying I would, what I would give you, because I always keep an open mind, but at a minimum, you could be looking at going to prison for 5 years because you don't want to stop using marijuana. How old are you?
57.
All right, you're 57 years old. It's time to put aside childish things. It's time to get your life in order. Probation is here. If you need treatment, they will give you treatment.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to give you a chance. They want you to go to SATA.
Okay.
There are a lot of people at inpatient at SATA who have major issues. And I'm not saying that marijuana is a major issue. It is. But I've sent people in SATA who have heroin addictions, cocaine addictions. So this marijuana thing, you're going to stop using it.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't, you know what's going to end up happening? I'm going to receive another notice. And they're going to say, do you want us to file a motion to revoke? Or do you want to have a conversation with Mr. Moore? And
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to say, if everything is in proper order, I'm going to say, file a motion to revoke. What's going to end up happening then is you will be arrested. You will be placed at the Bexar County Jail. Either you will make bond or you won't make bond. I will hear the evidence in your case. And if I find it to be true, either I will continue you, either I could send you to an inpatient facility, or either I could send you to prison up to life. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to stop with this nonsense. And honestly, there are issues with your thought processes if you are going to show up to report with marijuana on you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Not having it anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
So Rebecca, I want him tested. I want him tested for levels. I want him to do NA meetings 3 times per week. That's going to be on separate days. That won't interfere with your employment because guess what? NA meetings, AA meetings are all over the city of San Antonio and they're open at all different times. And when you go to NA meetings, you had better start trying to get a sponsor. So anytime you think you're going to use marijuana or hang around people who are using marijuana, you need to pick up the phone and call the sponsor. If you don't have the sponsor, when you think about using marijuana or around people who are using marijuana, you need to say, is this worth going to prison for life? Is this worth 5 years of my life? You may end up saying, yeah, smoking this joint is worth 5 years of my life. That's completely up to you. But that's what I'm going to do with you, Mr. Moore. Do not come back here for nonsense. Do you understand?
Got to.
I'm going to send
Understand.
you to a breakout room with probation. They're going to go over new conditions with you. You understand?
Excuse me, Judge, are we gonna extend his case or not right now? It looks like it's due to expire in August of this year.
You know what? Extend him for 3 months. Let's see how he does.
Yes, ma'am.